attending our MSIT webinar. We are very thankful for your presence, and also as a reminder, this is going to be recorded. So if you ever want to refer back to this, we are going to be adding it to our YouTube channel, which I will talk about later in the presentation. You can always rewind, fast forward. This is going to be a great information piece for you to always refer back to. So feel free to check our YouTube channel. That way you can always look at other videos as well. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Monica Perez. I'm part of the graduate school. I work with recruitment and admission, so you've probably either seen my name or my colleague's name, Gwen, and we are here to help you with any admissions questions. We also have a faculty and a staff member from the MSIT program. We are excited to have here in our webinar, and they're going to do the beginning portion of the presentation. And then I will be talking about admissions related topics and resources for our graduate students. If you have any questions, you can either add them in the chat, or we'll have a question and answer section after the MSIT portion if you have questions in relation to the program itself. All right, let's get started. All right, I am going to hand it over to the experts. So I have Dr. Glass and Kimberly Tomkiewicz, and go ahead.
Okay. I'm the program director for the IT Masters, professor of computer science. Kimberly Tomkiewicz is the advisor. So she's the person at in this program, if you're a student here, who you will get to know the best, and a really good resource for all kinds of problems and especially for people who are in the United States for the first time and sort of flailing around a little bit sometimes, and then dealing with a program. Kim, would you like to introduce our program to the students?
Yes, of course. Good morning, everybody. My name is Kimberly Jana Tomkiewicz. As Dr. Glass said, I'm the academic advisor and the capstone coordinator for MSIT. And this is a fantastic program for a variety of undergraduate students who not necessarily have a background in technology. So if you do not have a computer science or IT background, no worries whatsoever, because we give you a very strong foundation, and it has enabled our graduates to go on to very successful careers, not just in the United States, but globally. And we're going to go through some of that information with you this morning.
Yeah, this is a list of people who teach in our program. And of course, we don't expect you to memorize all these names or know who they are. The main point here is it's a variety of people with different backgrounds. Some of us are PhD computer scientists, some engaged in some active research, and we all have actual work experience. There's at least one person on here who has a deep national security experience, with U.S. government contractors and agencies. There are people here who have started their own companies, IT companies. There are people on here, the person who teaches the ethical hacking class, which is mostly, learning about how to see and what the hackers do, not so that you should do it, but is the person who for this school, which is a pretty big IT operation, does that kind of stuff. And just that kind of variety of people with in industry experience, technical experience, research experience, like that. And that's our faculty. So Kim, would you care to describe a little bit?
Of course. And the really fantastic thing about our program is that it is meant for people who have a goal in mind. And so, as you can see here, we've outlined that it is a 37 credit hour program. Um, we have a very clearly outlined curriculum for our students so that regardless of which track you decide to pursue, computing or management, everybody will leave here with the same core curriculum, which an IT professional is expected to know going into the workplace. And part of that curriculum, which I am referring to, are the core requirements. And so in the first semester of our program, every student has the same 9 credit hours or 3 courses that they're required to take. An introduction to programming, an introduction to information technology, and an ethics in information technology. And I would like to draw attention to the ethics course, as it is very unique to Valparaiso University. We are giving our students amazing skills, and we do believe that it is important to temper those skills with the knowledge and the moral awareness of what you can do with your skills in IT. And so that is something that we also help our students understand as they move into this profession.
Yeah, if you could go back a slide for just a moment. Okay, thank you. No, back. Okay, yeah, these are most of the classes which everybody has to take. And one of the things that people coming in, but that's not what I was interested in, or that kind of thing. Actually, there's method to this. It's not all electives. Many IT people, most IT people never do any programming. However, we've discovered that it is known that having learned to program, you don't have to be a programmer, but the skill of having to learn of programming once helps you really a lot in terms of working with just normal IT software type stuff. It's a skill as opposed to teaching you to be a programmer professionally. It's a way of thinking and understanding of software stuff. The data mining class, same idea. We're not teaching you to be a professional data miner, although you could go from this curriculum and do some data mining stuff. But it's the type of machine learning and working with data that, and information management is a similar type of thing, that as an IT person, it comes up, the issues involved, the understanding of what it does and how it does it, okay, are just useful background knowledges for your career. And of course, the same with ethics. So this curriculum, there's a method to it. So in terms of general purpose skills that you didn't necessarily think you needed, but will serve you well. Let us proceed. Okay, Kim, if you can.
Yes, of course. The Capstone course is something that we take a lot of pride in the MSIT program. And we actually have 4 different avenues in which students can complete their program of study. And so we have what is known as our IT 670 professional development course. We have students that pursue an either on or off-campus internship. And also we realize that some students in our program wish to further their education beyond a master's degree. And so we ensure that there are the resources available, resources being academic resources, faculty resources, to assist them with a research project, or if they wish, another option, which a number of our students have done, are the thesis preparation and then actual thesis composition. and that will help people get into a PhD program. In addition to all this, we also have our students in their second or third semester take a 1-credit course. And that class helps prepare anybody in the MSIT program for the professional capstone experience, which they will be having.
Okay. So in addition to our required curriculum, these are the kinds of classes, I mean, these are classes which we offer that illustrate the variety of things that you can take electively. A lot of this technology, law, and policy is kind of a great name to some extent for a lot of the curriculum, not just this one class. When you come out of our program, you're educated, you're an educated member of society who knows about and can think about things that people who haven't studied IT don't know. And IT permeates a lot of what happens. And things like data mining, and a lot of understanding even social issues sometimes, if you understand about these kinds of topics as a technologically educated person, you can contribute and think about things in ways that non-technically educated people can't contribute. But of course, these are also really useful things, job skills, things that you as, with your interests might be interested in. So all of these are things that are of great utility to yourself. But this is the variety of classes that we can offer.
And if I may, Dr. Glass, for those present in this, while the course titles stay the same, the curriculum and the technology within the courses is constantly being updated. So this is one of those programs in which nothing is stagnant. It is a living, breathing program, and we are constantly in flux with the changes in this industry.
Yeah. I suppose we can go to the next slide. So, okay. Yeah. Maybe there's not much to say here. This is where some of our graduates have gone. So, and our program hasn't been around for a super long time. I mean, it's been around, but in the time we've been around, we've had, and this is, I think, mostly even just the last few years. So I find it inspiring. People come and they're in my classes, and I know them only as students who are either getting it or not getting it, or I can see their development. And then 2 years later, I find out they're doing something like really cool, a job that, hey, I wouldn't mind having that job. So that's a pretty frequent occurrence.
And our program, the MSIT program at Valparaiso University, has had a tremendously successful track record with its graduates. We have over 850 graduates from the program. It has been very successful in assisting those people in moving forward into their professional roles. And it is exciting to hear back from our graduates, where they're at, how they've been doing. And to speak to that point, we have some testimonials here from 3 individuals from 3 different countries of the world who have all taken very different paths in life with their skill sets that they acquired at VU.
Yeah, Vamsi was, I actually hired him to do some of the system administration for our own Linux cluster. And we were installing a lot of virtual machines and some security stuff in addition to maintaining computers for classrooms. One of our biggest problems, of course, is that you're always having students who are trying to break in, just for fun because they're learning stuff. When he started working for me, he did not know anything about Linux system administration. All I knew was that he was a real problem solver. And it was a marvelous experience. I remember the first time I showed him a log file from a computer that he had helped put on the network, his first one. And it doesn't take long before you start seeing automated attacks. And usually if I show the log file, which shows those automated attacks, students don't comprehend what they're looking at. I mean, they don't look at these login attempts and notice that they're happening 6 seconds apart, that they're happening from IP addresses in Kazakhstan and places like that. So I showed him this, and I know he had no experience in it. And he just was really silent. And then a little while later, he came back to me. He said, this is what attacks look like? Yes, Vamsi, you got it. Now he does that stuff for a living. But it was, that might have been the moment where he decided to do what his current career is. But in any case, just a wide range of interests, and it was a joy to have around. Kim, could you talk about our next couple of people?
I'd be happy to. This is Nazia, and she is from Afghanistan. She is also a Fulbright scholar and is heavily involved with that organization to help promote women in technology. And we have, Monica, I'm not sure, were you planning on showing Nazia's video? In her own words, you can see just how well she has done.
2020 through the Fulbright Scholarship. My undergraduate. Hi, I'm Nazia Nasrat from Afghanistan. I completed my Master's in Information Technology Management track at Valparaiso University in May 2020 through the Fulbright Scholarship. My undergraduate degree was in Computer Science from Kabul University. In fall 2018, I got placement at Valparaiso University IT graduate program. And the reason I chose the management track because it was in line with my interests and study objectives. One of my greatest accomplishments within the program was completing a study as my final project under the title of An Enterprise Architecture of E-Government Progress, Afghanistan as a Case Study. I'm sure this study will help Afghanistan and similar countries in completion and development of e-government projects and delivery of e-services. The completion of the program could have not been possible without the assistance and participation of many individuals at the university, including my professors, my thesis advisor, Professor Rosasko, and my academic advisor, Professor Kim, who made my graduate student life more bearable. Thank you. Hi, I'm Nazia.
It is Nazia's that it is her hope that she will be able to return home and to assist her home country's government in rebuilding, which it obviously needs bright and ambitious and hardworking individuals like herself. The next individual that I would like to introduce you to is Hala, and she comes from Syria. She is a graduate from Damascus University and has gone on to a fantastic career as a senior software engineer at Interpace Diagnostics and has been highly successful in her professional career here in the United States. And I wasn't sure, Michael, if you had something to remark on regarding Hala and her time here as well.
No, not in particular. I do know that she has spoken very highly of you, and that comes through on this slide. But I mean, she was, from my point of view, I didn't have her in any of my classes. She was one of those people who, like, everybody knows, and you know she's going places.
And it is very exciting how we do develop friendships with our students during the program and then after the program, and how I think one of the things that you should take away from this meeting this morning with Monica and Dr. Glass and I is that we value relationships at Valpo. We value our students. You will not come into a classroom in this program with 200 people and sitting in a large lecture hall and be just a face in a sea of other faces. We get to know our students. We know about their families. We know about their strengths and their dreams, and we help them as much as we can to obtain those. And while we are with our students for such a short period of time, 4 semesters, as you know, go very quickly. The entire list of individuals that we showed you earlier in this presentation, every single one of those people can tell you a list of students with whom they keep in touch with whom they now work with professionally. Because one of the things that we do take seriously beyond the relationship, the personal relationship, is that this is a professional program. And as Dr. Glass indicated earlier, we have professionals that teach in our program. And so we see you not just as a student, but we see you as one of our future colleagues. And so we really value getting to know each and every one of you, making sure that your individual academic needs are being met that will help you obtain your professional goals. We do encourage you to please visit us at valpo.edu. And to poke around, you will see pictures of all the faculty that were mentioned. These are some images of our former students, the 2 gentlemen with the lanyards around their neck. They both work for the Indiana Prosecutor's Office now in their IT security division. The gentleman and the lady in the lower left corner, those gentlemen actually did a fantastic website and database development for the dunes, the Indiana State Park here in Northwest Indiana. And they created a fantastic donor and volunteer database and created a beautiful, beautiful website for this not-for-profit. And so our students, their impact is just not in what they end up seeing on their transcript. They are helping people, as we stated earlier, globally, locally, here within the university environment, and also regionally here in Northwest Indiana.
If anyone has any questions, I have the chat box open so I can view them, or if you would like to unmute yourself, we can try to get questions that way as well. Another reminder, since I had a few come after my message previously, this is going to be recorded. So if you ever want to go back or even send this to your friends or send them our YouTube link, feel free. And no worries. I know this is a lot of information, but what's wonderful is that you can always go back to this and fast forward based on your pace or rewind. So we really like to give you the opportunity to check out our other social media and YouTube channels, so that way you can get all the information that you need so you feel prepared. Okay, for the sake of time, I want to keep that in mind. I'm going to get started. Like I mentioned, my name is Monica Perez. I'm the Assistant Director of Graduate Recruitment and Admissions. I also have a great team in the graduate school that I will introduce. First, we have our Acting Dean, Patricia Mileham, and we also have Marcia Gearhart, Administrative Assistant to the Dean. They are our key faculty for administrative things. And then we also have Jessica Segali and Stephanie Kincaid, who are part of our academic and student services. You are probably going to see a lot of emails from them once you are an admitted student. The emails from either myself, Ryan Segali, and Gwen are going to start kind of dissipating, and you'll start seeing information more from Jessica and Stephanie. So each of them are going to serve a different purpose, just depending on who you're looking to speak to. So Jessica and Stephanie will be your main contacts when you are current students. We also have our Director of Graduate Enrollment Operations, Ryan Segali. You've either seen emails from him or communication, or you will be as a prospective student. And then you have Gwen and myself. We work with prospective students. We try to divide it by alphabet just to make it easier for us to divide our prospective students. So if you are having the surname N through Z, you'll probably be working with Gwen. And then if you have the surname of A through M, you will be working with me. Feel free to email us with any questions. We've had an influx of applications, which is really exciting. I know that hopefully we look to see you in the upcoming semester, which is fall of 21. And so if you have any questions regarding your application status or have questions as to why something may not have been satisfied, it could be that you've submitted something, but it's just not enough to satisfy the item, or that you just need to send us a reminder. Please feel free to send us an email. We will have our contact information towards the end of the presentation. So please look forward to that. Take a picture with your phone, or you can always look back to this later. And then we also have AJ Stevens. She's more behind the scenes. She is our main social media marketing manager. So if you see a lot of great social media posts lately, this is all from her. So she's more behind the scenes, but you may see her throughout campus once we plan to reopen. We're always committed to excellence and providing exceptional programs. So we try to adhere to accreditation standards and try to provide a great return on your investment. We know that these are professional programs, that this is not just like undergrad where you are given a lot of scholarship and opportunity. We want to make sure that your professional program provides classes that are geared towards your profession. We don't try to provide a lot of fluff for them, and we try to stay relevant to the upcoming times. So we want to make sure that depending on the program and the accreditation standards or whatever the industry standard is, we always try to adhere to that. We provide several support services, and some of them are more paused just due to the pandemic, and we hope to return to, and some we've kept going throughout this entire year. One thing that we try to support our students in is in academic support. Like I mentioned, we have Jessica and Stephanie. They'll help you and be your liaison with your department, academic department, and within the graduate school and the registrar. So if you have any questions regarding holds or maybe dropping a class, or you're unsure as to how many credits to register for the following year, that's something that you'll be working with either Kim or Stephanie or Jessica, depending on the concern. And that's something that we always try to provide support on for our students. We also provide advising support. That looks different for every program, just based on the department. For example, you have Kim to always refer back to with any questions regarding advising and scheduling classes. That's something that we work with the graduate school on your first semester to make sure that everything is looking good. And then you would be seeking with your department in order to register for your final 3 semesters. We also try to provide internship assistance. And like I mentioned with the first 2, that is going to vary based on the department and the academic program that you are pursuing. Some programs, internships are built in. Some are a little bit more vague as to how many options you have. And we also have career services, and where you can always refer to them for any opportunities for internships, graduate assistantships, especially for international students, since work is limited within the university. There are some really great resources and people you can go to seek work within the university and see what opportunities there are per semester. We're offering an academic symposium coming up. It will be virtual, but I think this is really exciting that we've kept this going, and the university has continued to provide research opportunities and showcasing them within the undergrad and graduate school populations. I think this is really exciting because students just love to showcase the research that they've done, and we wanted to provide an opportunity for that. If you are interested in learning more about that, we have that listed on our website, and that's something that you can always look to Jessica Segali on past research symposiums and seeing what it takes to present for those. We also provide a graduate student advisory council, which we call short GSAC. It's an advisory council for graduate students in order for them to get together from different programs, advocate for graduate students, and be a liaison within the graduate school and other graduate students, either their peers or students that they may not know, provide opportunities for just feedback. So this is a really great organization to be a part of and to be involved in. We try to provide social events. Those have been a little bit limited this past year, but in the past we have provided banquets and barbecues, fun ways for you to be involved. We know that you're very busy. We have a lot of adults who have other obligations, but we try to provide social events throughout the year that accommodate your schedule, just something quick to celebrate you as a graduate student while also acknowledging that you're very busy, and we know that. So we try to do them few and far between, more quality than quantity. We also offer the graduation banquet, which was virtual this past year, but in the past we've had them in our banquet, and we provide food and recognition for our graduate students for their achievements. So that's something that we hope to continue and celebrate you once you get ready for graduation. And like I mentioned before, we have career services. They have a lot of different services that you can take advantage of. If you don't have a lot of experience in interviewing, or if you feel that it's been a few years since you've interviewed somewhere, they can provide you with support and just a mock interview to tell you on what things you need to work on or what are your strengths. They can also work with a resume building. If you have questions on what does a good resume look like, I need feedback, I need someone else to take a look at this, they're a really great resource, and then you can schedule an appointment with them. And then we have orientation for all of our incoming students. That's something that we send information to after you're admitted, so no worries. Each orientation will give you information on other student resources. You'll get information on who your advisor is. If you are not an MSIT student, that will look different based on the program, but it's a really great way to get you introduced to the university. At Valparaiso, we've taken a lot of precautions due to COVID in making sure that we have procedures and protocols for not only our students, but also our faculty and staff. We take this very seriously. We want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable in a safe reopening of campus for fall and for whatever classes are available in person right now. We have this actually on our website. And if you ever have any questions regarding any COVID concerns, please contact covid19info@valpo.edu. I have that email listed right here in our presentation if you want to take a picture of it and ask questions regarding COVID-19. I did see a question regarding Duolingo. I will talk about that later in the presentation, so stay tuned. We also like to provide numbers and be very transparent with our campus community. We want to make sure that everyone is acknowledging the numbers week by week. So this is updated weekly. They do a really great job in providing updated data so that you are well aware as to what is currently going on campus. What's exciting is that the university has provided vaccination clinics. So that is actually coming up next week. For all of our students, faculty, and staff, that's something that as a staff member, I take pride in Valparaiso for providing services to our campus community, especially in relation to COVID-19. I feel that this is going to be great for our students who may not have access to healthcare either because they are not currently in their country or by home and maybe they're not insured with their parents. I think this is a really great opportunity to take advantage of the resources that we offer. We have a clinic on campus for our students and for our faculty and staff. I take advantage of it all the time. I think it's a really great way for you to feel that if you're feeling sick, you have somewhere to go. So if you have questions regarding vaccinations, positive case counts, please refer back to this page. It's really easy to find. If you go to valpo.edu, you can find it on the top. It's typically a blue highlighted bar on the top that you can click on, and it takes you to all the COVID related information. We do offer other graduate programs if you are interested in exploring either STEM programs or something in relation to a career that you're interested in. I know this is a webinar geared towards our MSIT program, but I wanted to highlight all the programs that the graduate school offers. And we do offer certificates. So if you're interested in stacking on a certificate or looking into other options to just beef up your graduate program, this is something you can look into as well. Let's get to the application. So either some of you are either current applicants or looking to apply. We do have different terms. As far as MSIT, right now, our next upcoming term is fall of 21. I know in the past we've offered summer, so there may have been some confusion, and I think we've most of our students either deferred or adjusted to fall. So if you haven't, if you're still summer and you are looking to change it to fall or spring, please let us know. We want to make sure that you are applying for the appropriate term. We provide this information on our website if you ever want to look back to this, or if you want to refer back to our YouTube channel. But we do require transcripts for all degrees received for coursework completed. So if you've attended 2 different institutions, we will like transcripts from each of those. Don't feel obligated to submit intermediate transcripts. That is not required. We are looking for your undergraduate study. We do require 2 letters of recommendation. So if you want to use our online recommendation form, or if you would like those just submitted through your portal, you can do either one. We do require also a 1 to 2 reflective essay. This is talking about your goals, why you want to study MSIT at Valparaiso or any other program. We want to make sure that the program director or the ones reviewing your application get to know you more as an applicant, and this is a really great way to do that. We do require an application fee, but it is waived if you attend this webinar. So please feel free to email me if you have applied and you're looking to get your application waived. Now, for those of you that are international applicants, we do have some additional materials. I did get that Duolingo question asked, and unfortunately, we do not accept Duolingo at this time. I've actually gone into a few applications to put that onto your portal so you could see that. We will require either an IELTS, a TOEFL, a PTE. We try to list all the accepted English proficiency exams that are accepted and that are trusted at this time. Maybe in the future we will accept Duolingo, but at this time it is not accepted. So if you have that currently in your application, feel free to keep it in there. It's not going to be satisfied. We will still require another application English proficiency exam score, but know that we've acknowledged your Duolingo score. Unfortunately, we just cannot accept it at this time. If you come from an English-speaking country, we will waive that requirement. Sometimes that is automatic. And sometimes if you've completed an English language program, just provide proof of that and we will waive that requirement as well. But I've listed the ones that we do accept just so you have an idea. And this is also listed into our graduate student page if you ever want to refer back to it. So I think this is a really good reference so that way you are aware. I think that IELTS and TOEFL are usually the popular ones, and I know they've provided indicators if you are currently under lockdown or have issues going to a test site physically. We also require proof of financial support. What's great is we provide those documents listed on our website. If you have questions as to where to locate that, I can easily send you the link. You can save that for a future date, but we just need a proof of funds so that way we can satisfy that item as well in your application list. We will require a passport copy. Just take a quick snap of the front and back and upload that to your portal, and we will satisfy that item. Official transcripts are required in both original and English translations of all university courses in which you are enrolled. We do accept unofficial transcripts, but official copies must be submitted prior to classes. Sometimes you're close to the deadline, you really want to get your application in, we will accept unofficial and we will satisfy that in order to receive an admission status. But we will require certain official documents prior for you to receiving your I-20 or registering for classes. One great resource that we offer for international students is our Office of International Programs. You'll probably start seeing emails if you are admitted to the program in regards to the next steps and what to do. They prepare you to attend Valpo so that you can be part of our international community. What's really wonderful is that they provide graduate aid opportunities to work in their office. It's a really great network for you to not only get to meet students within your country, but other countries. I love the diversity that our graduate school offers. And so this is a really great way for you to be involved, to showcase your culture, and to provide, be maybe a mentor to incoming students once you are a student here. They also provide steps for admitted students, which I really love. This is a really in-depth, step-by-step process for you to look at. And if you ever have any confusion, please refer to their website because they have really great information on immigration details, how to have a successful visa interview. All of this is, I feel, really helpful for any international student preparing to either come to the country or to prepare for their visa. So if you ever have any questions, this is a really great resource for you to look at a later time. There's a lot of great information. So please go to our Office of International Programs page in order to view all of this. Here's our list of tuition and fees. Most of our master's programs are $650 per credit hour if you want to break it down by that. Most of our programs are within 36 to 38 credit hours. And you can see that our Master of Science in Information Technology is 37 credit hours. This is just for tuition. So if you're looking at living expenses, I don't really provide that too often because sometimes you want to room with someone else. That will vary from living on campus. Sometimes you will find a different living situation than another student. So that can vary. And that's something that we can assist you with as well. We also have a list of off-campus living that we can provide you with. So if you have questions on, I want to live in an apartment or I want to rent a house with somebody else, we can provide you that information of places that we trust. Financial aid is provided for domestic students. So any of you that are domestic students seeking an MSIT degree, we do offer opportunities to receive financial aid. For international students, we actually offer a scholarship. It is very competitive and it's at the point of admission. So in your admissions letter is where you will receive information regarding a scholarship if eligible. It ranges from $2,000 to $6,000 and it is merit-based. And we hope that you use it within the first 2 full semesters of study. It's really easy to know if you've received it or not. Like I mentioned, it is at the point of admission. And just know that if you haven't, it is very competitive. So we really try to disperse it evenly, but we know that we just cannot provide the scholarship to all students. But we try to provide some assistance when needed. If you have questions on our domestic student and want to learn more about financial aid, please reach out to Anne. She's a really great graduate student contact, and she can provide you some information on your next steps. Since you are probably remote, the university has done a really great job in providing a virtual tour to make you feel like you're on campus. If you are planning and arriving in fall 21, the weather is going to be wonderful. I am hoping a really great start versus probably spring. A really great way for you to ease into our Midwestern winters. But what I really love about campus is we are in a really great location. I would say we're semi-metropolitan. We're close to a lot of different businesses, grocery shopping, walking distance, which I feel is really important. We have public transportation, but we're really close to buses and trains. They'll take you to two main cities that we are closest to, Chicago and South Bend. Really great way for you to explore and get to know the area. But I really like the area that the actual university is residing in. It's a smaller town, smaller feel, but I feel that you get the best of both worlds, and especially taking advantage of the dunes and being able to go into a city is a really great experience that I hope you get to experience once you are here. But if you're interested, we do have a virtual tour. I won't click on it just because I think this is a really great way for you to take your own time and check building by building as to what we offer. We are a smaller campus, which I really like because you really get to be able to walk around and enjoy it all without feeling overwhelmed. Also follow us on social media. We try to provide upcoming events for either our current or future students here. And then, like I mentioned, we also have our YouTube page. I also included Valparaiso University's, the main page. They also have some great videos on athletics, alumni, any current events that have happened or any past events, maybe some ceremonies that have happened in the past. So I think this is a really great resource for you to look at, feel part of the campus before you get to visit, because I know you would like to visit and take a tour, but because of visa situations, you can't do that for any international applicants. So this is a really great way to feel involved prior to coming. I know I had a few questions. If you have any questions regarding your application, feel free to email me at Monica, which is MONICA.Perez, PEREZ @valpo.edu, or you can email the graduate school at graduate.school@valpo.edu. If you've paid the application fee and have attended this webinar, please feel free to email us. We can send you a refund. Or if you're looking to apply and want to get your application fee waived, please email us and we'll go ahead and do that manually. Any other questions that you have in relation to the application process or the graduate school? Great. Thank you so much for attending our webinar. Please feel free to tell your friends or any colleagues about this webinar once we upload it to our YouTube page. If you have questions for our faculty and staff within the MSIT program, please feel free to email the graduate school at graduate.school@valpo.edu, and we'll make sure to connect you with them. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Kimberly. It was great having you on, and I wish everyone, yes, Paul? Did you have a question, Paul?
Hi, Monica. I just want to get your email ID once. I was in a hurry that I was writing your mail ID.
This
Hello.
will probably be a little bit easier. I will send it in our chat, so that way everyone can copy and paste it. Does that sound like a good idea?
Yeah, sure. So is that you're saying that like if I want to waive off the application fee, I need to send the email. So do I need to send the reference ID too? Because I have the reference ID.
If you can email me your reference ID, your full name, And the email that is in your application, I can go ahead and do that for you.
Oh, yeah, sure. That sounds good. Probably how much time does it take roughly of providing if all the required documents and expecting of any admits?
Typically, if you submit all your documents, from there it can take anywhere from 1 to 2 weeks turnaround, just depending on the influx of applications at that time. And then you will all receive an email regarding your application status. So a decision is made through email. So if you haven't received it and you feel that there's been enough time, please email us. Sometimes emails change throughout the application process. We want to make sure to have the correct contact information. That's happened a few times. And so we want to make sure to provide you updates. On your end, it'll just look like your application's awaiting decision. And on our end, we send it through multiple channels. The application gets sent through a contact at the graduate school, and then we send it forward, and then it gets sent over for approval. So there's a few things on our end where we send it through a few channels before you receive a decision. But if you're concerned about that, please feel free to email us and we can give you a more detailed update.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot of info. Just keep up my mind in it.
Any other questions? Okay, I know some questions will probably come up, so feel free to email us. And like I mentioned, thank you again, Michael and Kimberly, for being on. We really appreciate the time you've spent with us, and we hope to see some of you coming in fall.